Five people are recovering after a fire at a Chesapeake apartment. It happened on Rogers Street around 6:30 this evening. We're told everyone was out when firefighters arrived on the scene. A neighbor we spoke with told us it was incredible how everyone jumped into action to help.
I never saw so many people jump out, cars and everything like that. It was amazing.
Firefighters say someone left a pan on the stove unattended, and that is what caused the fire. 2 adults and 2 children were taken to a hospital. We are told their injuries are minor. Medics treated a 5th person on the scene.